What's up, everybody? It's shameless plug time. So thanks for checking out the podcast, Going Full Nerd. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe everywhere possible. So look for Going Full Nerd on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, goingfullnerd.com, and my Twitter handle, ONYXXX1969. You can also listen to the audio version on its home, Anchor.fm, but also on Pandora, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you consume your podcast listening pleasure. Hey guys, let's get on with the show. Okay, what's up, everybody? What's happening? It's your boy Onyx once again. What's happening? What's going on? It's Sunday, 6 p.m. Football season over. You know how I roll. It is what it is. Whoo, man, it's been one of those things. I know, honestly, I've been kind of slacking. I've been kind of slacking. It is what it is. I mean, I've been trying to relax and kind of ease my mind, you know? And sometimes that's a little difficult to do. It really is. You know, between trying to make sure this stuff works out, because for some reason I'm like, this seems like it's so dark. Maybe I can lighten up, you know? Let me see if I can lighten up the studio some. I got a lot of lights on, you know. I'm not the darkest guy in the world, but, you know, hey, the line is can we get, there we go. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can get, there we go. Now we can see me, and let me get a little adjustment on the camera. There we go. Okay. I think I need to work on lighting. I really do. This might be something that I need to get done, get better lighting in the home studio. But anyway, hey, here we go, folks. We're going to talk about, it finally showed up. It finally came. It was Marvel Studios' Secret Invasion. We've been dying to get more Marvel action because win, lose, or draw, we've been getting okay Marvel Studio stuff. We've been getting subpar Warner Brothers DC comic stuff. So we got to try to figure a way to get good comic book, sci-fi, action, smooth flicks that we can enjoy. I mean, I'm finding myself getting more and more disappointed with the live action adaptations of great comic book stories. Now, we talked last week. We talked a little bit last week, and last week was, you know, about the Flash and the good, the bad, the ugly, the more ugly and bad than there were good. I mean, it can be salvaged. I mean, this is under the old regime. It's not the new regime of, you know, James Gunn, so we're going to deal with that. But now we're moving over to Disney Plus television shows. Now, here's my problem first. I've been waiting on What If Season 2. I've been waiting on Loki Season 2. Can we get to those? I know you finished What If Season 2, but, I mean, I digress. They got their reasons. Loki Season 2, we waiting on it, or are we waiting on the outcome of Jonathan Majors issues? I don't know. I'm not sure. It could be, could not be. It's 6.5 one way, 6.5 the other. It is what it is. But what we do get is a full dose of motherfreaking Samuel Jackson. I have to say it like that because there may be kids watching. Not like I usually care, right? So, Samuel L. Jackson is the star of Marvel Studios' Secret Invasion. Now, Secret Invasion is adapted from a storyline created by Brian Michael Bendis in the comic books. Now, the Secret Invasion that we're watching on Disney Plus is a big, far cry from what the comic book did. Now, the comic book, I'll be honest, some people loved it, some people hated it. I personally really liked the premise of the comic book Secret Invasion. The tagline, just like on my thumbnail, who do you trust? And when that first came out, it was very unique in the aspect. The artwork was something, it wasn't great. It wasn't bad to me. It just wasn't my normal taste. I mean, I'm the type of guy, I like specific comic book artists. I like Michael Golden style. I liked George Perez style, the way he was. I actually like Chris Claremont. I mean, not Chris Claremont. Dave Cockrum style. Alex Ross, obviously. Leinil Yu. It's a little artsy, but I digress. That has nothing to do with what I'm getting ready to talk about. But the storyline premise of the original Secret Invasion, spoiler alert if you haven't read it, it is what it is. But they went back and looked at old comic books. And when Brian Michael Bendis went back and looked at old comic books, he said, "Man, there's some loose ends and some wild stuff going on." So you take the Skrulls. Now, in the Marvel Universe, comic books, Skrulls are a warlike being. This has been retconned and changed ever so much. It is aligning itself a little more like the MCU, where they are more of a peaceful race, okay? And that they were molded into a warlike race. And this is kind of part of the comic book history, stuff that people don't really get into as much as I do. I mean, I've got all the books. I love this stuff. But the deal is, long story short, way back when there was a group called the Illuminati, which, was brought to the live action screen in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. They have nothing to do with Marvel Studios' Secret Invasion. They have nothing to do with the live action Secret Invasion. But in the comic book, they were a main reason this went down. And the reason why this had gone down is because you had the Illuminati. The Illuminati was basically Doctor Strange, Professor X, Iron Man, okay, Black Bolt, Submariner, okay, and these jokers went to the Skrull homeworld. It's like, yo, you show up at our doorstep and we gonna whoop your ass. That's how they were. And they went in there and they started throwing down. They got mollywopped for a second. Then they had to escape. But it was only after the Skrulls had ran tests on each and every one of them and learned and figured something out. And they took the time. And then when the Skrulls finally lost their homeworld due to Galactus, a character that's not in the MCU, they said, well, screw it, we gonna take Earth. That's how the comic book version went. They kidnapped superheroes, they kidnapped people, got into high-ranking parts of the government, got into the superhero community, and basically it was a crap show. It was a crap show. You didn't know who to trust. You couldn't tell who was a Skrull and who wasn't. I mean, it was a great storyline thriller. They brought back characters that haven't been seen in a while that were presumed dead. They did all sorts of crazy, wild stuff. And it led into something else, which I know the MCU isn't going to do. So let's fast forward and let's take a look at the MCU. They announced we're going to do Secret Invasion, and it's going to be a Nick Fury-centric story, and it's not going to involve any of the existing superheroes we have. That is something that I was like, oh, surprise. But then, as I take a sip of the adult beverage, but then I started reading stuff on the internet. Now, I'm going to get to the show that I watched this past Wednesday, episode 1. Now, a couple of things that I found out. The writer for the live action MCU, Secret Invasion, was told, don't read the comic books. You're going to write something about superheroes and not read the source material? Crazy play. Crazy play. I rag. I rag on superhero movies for not following the source material. Flash did not follow the source material completely. They did some. They didn't do it. And it caused some bad problems. Captain America, Civil War, had some of the source material, but didn't follow it completely through with what went down. Different little things. Let's go to the Sonyverse when they did the X-Men Dark Phoenix. That damn sure didn't follow the source material, you know. So, here goes my thing. Is that a good or a bad thing for this? And as I get into talking about the first episode, it might be. It actually might be. And the reason, you know, is because of what they're doing. Now, the first 7 minutes of this is online for free. You can see it on YouTube. You can see it in the Marvel promo stuff, which is kind of interesting. But there's some things that's like, yeah, I know that. I knew that was a scroll and things like that. But the premise is this. Comic book premise was the religious faction of the Skrulls said, to heck with it. We're going to take over the planet Earth. And when we do that, we are going to have our new Skrull homeworld. And their thing was, he loves you. That was their biggest thing. It almost sounded cult-like. He loves you. And then they would blow some shit up. You know, or they take out a hero or a villain. Now, the MCU version, let's go back to the Captain Marvel movie. One of the things about the Captain Marvel movie is they promised they would help the Skrulls find a new homeworld. Promises, promises. Never make a promise that you can't keep. And here's the thing. Captain Marvel promised it, and Nick Fury promised it. And the Skrulls, small faction, small amount of Skrulls, are on the planet Earth, and they've integrated themselves, and they kind of chill and do their thing. And while they waited, and waited, and waited, and waited, and waited, until, like with anything, if you wait too long, there's going to be at least one person that's going to be like, yo, screw this. You ain't going to do it for me, so I'm going to show up and do it my damn self. And that's what happens in this version of Secret Invasion. There's a faction of the Skrulls, not as peaceful as the OG faction, held by, you know, Ben Talos, who we've seen filling in for Nick Fury in Spider-Man No Way Home, WandaVision, all these different things, you know, when we see these characters popping up throughout the Marvel Universe. Marvel Cinematic Universe. Let me say that correctly. And so, now we got to a point where they're doing terrorist attacks. And there's this faction of Skrulls that are like, you know, to heck with it, let's kill all the humans. Like, where did they get that part from? Let's kill all the humans, take the planet for ourselves, and we'll be good to go. Like, really? Like really, they went from 0 to 100 on this. But with this being said, you've got a whole bunch of things that are getting thrown into the mix. You've got Nick Fury and what he's doing at the Saber space station, which I think is a part of SWORD. We've seen that inside Spider-Man No Way Home. We've seen hints of SWORD in WandaVision. Okay, we saw hints of that, right? With Monica Rambeau and that type of thing. And we hear it mentioned, and this is what it is. So Nick Fury has to come back and clean up this mess. But there's a problem. And this is something that I'm waiting for them to elaborate on. They say something is different about Nick Fury compared to how he acted in the past. And I can see it in the way Sam Jackson is portraying his character at this point. So, just one episode in. I'm not going to spoil the biggest cliffhanger at the end. I'm not going to go ahead and throw that out there. But I can see the setup. It's only 6 episodes. So this is actually going to move pretty quick. So the next 6 weeks, we're going to get one episode every Wednesday of Secret Invasion. I think some people are going to be revealed as Skrulls, more, and some are not. It's lining itself up to try to be more of a thriller, much like Winter Soldier, Captain America, Winter Soldier. It's going to be a little more grounded. It's all Nick Fury centric. Shouldn't be any superpowers. Shouldn't be any Rhodey in his Iron Man armor, even though Rhodey's going to be in it. Rhodey made a cameo in this episode. Okay? But my question is, how can you do this without alerting the superhuman community? I know the Avengers are all scattered and there's an issue. Are we going to have more of Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character, and is this going to set up in the Thunderbolts? Could be. Maybe. Sort of. I don't know. Are we going to have something, a big revelation in the Marvels that comes out later this year? Does the Marvels take place before this or after this? Because in the trailers for the Marvels, Nick Fury is in the space station. He's a little more clean cut. He's not this dude, this grizzled dude you see behind me, looking rough with no eye patch. I mean, I'm just trying to figure a lot. Now, I'm going to say, you say, does it have potential? So far, the first episode with the cliffhanger at the end, it does have potential. I think the cliffhanger at the end is going to be retconned for something else at the beginning of episode 2. But my problem is, what does this mean moving forward for the MCU as a whole? Is this... I'm really trying to figure out. I mean, during the Infinity Saga, we had 20 some odd movies. They all interconnected. They had good storylines, but they all led back to Thanos and the Snap. Now, with the issues with Jonathan Major, I know you can't do a big, story change. There's got to be a way they're going to keep this dude. I mean, if you could release a movie with Ezra Miller and the Flash, if Warner Brothers could do that and have him on the red carpet, this dude was kidnapping and whooping people, I think. It is what it is. Jonathan Major's got one incident. Dude, he's dating Megan Good. He should be straight. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't think it's a problem. I think old girl was jealous because he was hollering at Megan Good. And wasn't hollering at her. I said, okay, I got you. You don't want me? Let me stop. Speculation. But Secret Invasion, based off of episode 1, it looks good so far. I like what's going on. I like the deal. It seems like it's something that should be a good lead into something, but I don't know exactly what. I mean, are we going to get a lead into Armor Wars, which was pushed back? Are we going to get a good lead in to the Kang and the Secret War saga? Is this going to happen? I don't know. I don't have a clue. I don't understand if it will or not. But the thing about it is, how can we figure out what to do with that? I mean, the first episode really isn't going to dig too much. I mean, we've got some Easter eggs. We got, obviously, a relative to the superhero Union Jack in it. We've got Nick Fury doing Nick Fury stuff. We got, all sorts of other... We just got all sorts of stuff going on. And it can go either way at this point. I mean, I wouldn't give this series a rating after one episode. One episode is not going to happen. But my thing is, I don't think Sam Jackson is going to put himself. Well, maybe Sam Jackson will. He did do The Hitman's Bodyguard. I did review that on the channel a while back. Take a look at that. Special effects, on point. Not heavy on the power effects, but they're sticking with a lot of the makeup with Skrulls. They're sticking with... They limited to transformations, which I did notice in it. You got MI6, so they're going to become a player in the MCU. Will we see a MCU version of 007? That would be kind of cool. That would be interesting. But, you know, I'm not sure what direction they're going to do with this, and what direction is Secret Invasion going to take with the open-ended storylines we have in the MCU right now. And when I say open storylines, what do we got? We got a big Celestial sticking his hunking behind out the middle of the ocean, a la Eternals, right? We've got a black Captain America. Brave New World is what they're going to call the next Captain America film. They changed that from New World Order, is what it is. That's filming now. Can't wait to see what happens with that. But then we got Ant-Man Quantumania. We don't know if Kang actually survived Quantumania or a good variant. We know there's tons of variants. Spoiler for Quantumania. Yeah, well, you should have seen it by now. But where is this all going to go? We got the Thunderbolts being formed in the background. Okay. We got the Marvels getting ready to drop later this year with Captain Marvel. So we're in space. We're on Earth. We're in the multiverse. How are we going to tie all this crap together? I don't know. It's looking real scary to me. Because do we want to hang around for another 20 movies, 15 TV shows to watch all of this go through? I mean, I do. I'm a big Marvel fan. That's what I do. You know. But still, is it going to be worth it? First episode, Secret Invasion. Good to watch. Check it out. Tell me what you think. Hit me in the comments. We're going to discuss a little more after episode 2. We're going to do that next week. But we also have, I've got to check it out. I might have a pre-recorded video. I still have not watched Transformers. I've been told by people it's something not to watch. I don't know. But I may have to, it may be a toss-up between doing a recorded review for Transformers or Indiana Jones. It may be the two, to do a recording for one of those two. But we will talk Secret Invasion episode 2, and maybe that'll lead us a little bit further as we move along. And we'll make that decision whether we'll do each individual episode or, excuse me, or we may go ahead and just do the first 3, wait till the last 3, and then talk about it as a whole, like we've done some other Marvel Studios productions. Whew. I think that pretty much sums it up. I think that pretty much calls it up. Hey, it's getting ready to be that time. We're moving into the summer. We'll be moving into the fall. I'm kind of gearing up everything to do the charity fundraising for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. I don't have the links into the description yet, but I plan on doing a whole separate video and maybe a promo thing that I put in front of every video. Maybe that would be a good thing to do. But we are taking donations for Children's National Medical Center in Washington, D.C. You got 2 ways. There'll be a link that I will provide eventually in the community section of YouTube, on Twitter, and all that good stuff. And you could also, if you wanted to, donate to the channel through thanks, through super chats, or just join as a member. And then I take part of those proceeds, whatever YouTube gives me when they finally do decide to give it to me, when I hit the thresholds. And then I put that over to Children's National Medical Center. Anyway, just remember, everybody, if you can't say anything nice, don't say it at all. Send it to me. I'll say it for you. I'm about to get back on my Xbox because I've been having a bad time playing games. And if I'm going to do a gaming thing for charity, I got to get my skills up. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. And also, I see you fully geeking out. If you want to join the team, let me know. I will send you a link. You can join the fundraising team for Children's National Medical Center, and you'll get your own link that you can share out, and the donations will go to the same thing under Team what? Going Full Nerd. Anyway, let me hit that funky outro music, and peace, y'all. I'm out of here. I gotta do the epic music for Secret Invasion. You know what I'm saying? And here we go. All right, well, okay. So this is the deal, and this is the deal. Secret Invasion, I may end up doing another video next weekend, just basically on episode 2. Glad to see everybody that kind of hung out and stays to the very end, where you can see the stuff that says like, share, and subscribe. If you're actually watching this as a recording, and I'm doing this a little ahead of time because you guys are watching live, but if you're watching this as a recording, there's a subscribe thing probably like right above my head, and there is a couple of videos that you might like over to the side near that handsome looking dude right over there. But anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. We got to get this thing going because the fundraising is in November, and I want to hit $1,000 this year. We haven't hit $1,000 in the past 2 years, and that's not good. So we'll figure it out. Peace.